Okay, real quick, and please listen closely. There was a water main break where St. Paul Street turns into Light Street and has closed the street down from Fayette to Pratt Street. This happened just a couple days ago. It's estimated to take 3 weeks to repair. This has impacted traffic and public transportation greatly. So be sure to allow for that when you leave the convention for something to eat, or if you're going to the masquerade or whatever. It's just really messed up things downtown, and it doesn't look like it's going to be fixed before the convention happens. Now, for the otakus that are coming off the train at Penn Station, or if you are staying at a hotel or a friend's place along St. Paul Street, listen up. You can still take public transportation, the Purple Line circulator route, or a cab, or you can still drive down. You'll have to see the MTA site to see how the routes are altered. As for a cab, make sure the driver takes you down via Cathedral Street and get out on the corner of Cathedral and Pratt. This convention center will be directly across the street. For those of you who are relying on the purple route, it will follow the normal route down to Fayette Street, but then turn right instead of going straight. The purple route stops of Fayette, Light, and Pratt Streets are closed. The bus will turn left onto Cathedral and then right onto Pratt Street. Now the bus is going to pass the convention center and it will not stop. Don't panic. Don't panic. Hit the stop request button at this point. The bus's next stop will be at the Orange and Banner Route stop of Pratt and Light. Get off there and walk back towards the convention. Okay? If you keep all this in mind, you'll be fine, just like dark chocolate pie. Okay, so here's a place where you can kind of get to by walking or taking the Orange Line circulator. It's pretty close to the convention center. These are places off of Light Street. To get to Light Street, you can take the Orange Line for the convention center to stop 221, which is the Inner Harbor, and cross the street and walk back towards the convention center for 1 block and turn right on Light. Or you can just simply cross the street and walk up 3 blocks and turn left onto Light Street. Everything that I'm going to mention here is about 1 block north on Light. 7-Eleven, take 1. Even though the street will be closed, I believe businesses will still be open. So the 7-Eleven is there, about halfway up the block, and it's open 7 to 11. Freshie is a very good, healthy fast food place. It's great if you're a vegan or a vegetarian. It's moderately priced and has really good portions. This is probably the only place to eat on Light Street that I would tell you to go to. Across the street from the Freshie is the CVS. I believe it's open until midnight every night. And directly across from the CVS is the Royal Farms. It's brand new. Burke's used to be there, but Royal Farms bought it, and now they put it in a convenience store. I believe it's also open until midnight. While I don't have a picture of this particular McDonald's on Light Street, this is the really sucky one, you know, the one where the lines go on forever and people can't seem to understand what you're saying to them. I would pretty much avoid this place. Okay, to get to the gallery, which is kind of the mall slash hotel directly across from the Inner Harbor, all you have to do is take the Orange Line from the convention, get off at stop 221 again, that's Inner Harbor, and cross the street, or you can just walk over. I'm not going to talk too much about it, other than to say that there is a Starbucks on the 3rd floor, and the food court is on the 4th floor. I will just say this about the food court. There is a McDonald's up there. It's not better than the one on Light Street. There's a Sbarro's and a couple of Asian-themed kiosks. Be prepared to have cash on hand, as most of these places here will not take credit. Also, it's going to be crowded with obnoxious children. Okay, to get to the Inner Harbor, you just do the same thing as you would with the gallery. You can either take the bus over, you can walk over, there's the skywalks, all that good stuff. The Inner Harbor, both pavilions, have changed greatly over the past 2-3 years, and not necessarily for the better. I'm really only going to talk about the cheapy ones, and so I'm going to start with the Inner Harbor Pratt Street side. Okay, on the Pratt Street side, there's a lot of good sit-down, like Uno's or Ito's and Cheesecake Factory, but really we're aiming for the cheap ones. We want to save your money for the convention. So in the Pratt Street side, that's the one that faces the gallery. There's really only 2. First one is called Lenny's. It's supposed to be a New York style deli. Meh. be honest, it's overpriced, mediocre food. Now, on the second floor of the Pratt Street side, Inner Harbor, is Five Guys. It's a sure thing. It's good, it's cheap, it's hamburgers, french fries, and hot dogs. It's not too expensive, and really pretty good. Okay, again, there's been a lot of changes, not necessarily for the good, but here's what they have over there that's cheap and easy to get to. Noodles and Company. Solid Asian do-it-yourself noodle bowls. Cheap, good, and easy. This is probably where most of you are going to be going because it's the closest to the convention. Johnny Rockets is back, but it's mostly takeout now. There's not a whole lot of seating area, which is kind of weird because there's a huge seating area where Phillips used to be. So I'm not sure what's up with that. But anyway, it's very scaled down. Same menu, but it's pretty much just takeout at this point. Hooters, still there. Alright, so what took the place of Phillips? What took the place of Phillips is a Bubba Gump shrimp. That's right, as in Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump shrimp. Don't get me started. It's overpriced seafood, and it's really, just don't waste your time. Just keep your money and go over to Noodles and Company. As I was saying, a lot of the changes aren't good changes. So the Inner Harbor is probably not the go-to place anymore. But there's still plenty of other restaurants and cheap eats that are within walking distance of the convention center, and that's what I'm going to talk about next time. Just in case you're wondering, all those little food kiosks that were upstairs, you know, the New York Deli one, the pizza, the Subway, they're pretty much gone now. It was taken over by Ripley's, believe it or not, museum, and so there's a really bad statue of Bumblebee the Transformer at the front of it. That's the only good thing I can say about it. Otherwise, next time we'll talk about better, cheaper food places for you to go.
날 알았을 때 she's so